If your mind feels clutter and feels like that you are overthinking, almost like that you have 100 tabs open in your head, there is one tool that I'm going to get you to try, and that is journaling. And I know before you roll your eyes, I know what you're thinking about the cute notebooks, and you're thinking about writing all your thoughts can be overwhelming, but I am here to reassure you how journaling has completely changed my life, how it helped me to give me so much clarity, how journaling has also helped me to become more calm and focused person. And trust me, this is not just fluff, it is also backed by science. So in this video, I am going to talk about what science says about journaling. If you are somebody that's only going to try journaling if it is good for your brain, then this is the section you're gonna love. In the next section, we are going to talk about why do you struggle with journaling? What are the common issues with journaling? And then if you are a beginner, then how can you get started? How can you start? If you have never done journaling, then I'm going to talk about how simple things have really helped. And if you stick through this video, then towards the end, I am going to talk about how it's going to benefit. What happens if you stick with 30-day journaling? How it can change your life. So stay till the end. Hi, welcome back to my channel. And if you are tuning in for the first time, hello, my name is Ankita. I live in Vancouver, Canada, and I am 38-year-old mom. I also own my brand Inkara, and I create YouTube videos for people like you because I know you're ambitious. I know you want to achieve great things. So neuroscience says journaling activates the left side of your brain, which is basically the analytical side, which calms down the amygdala, the fight or flight area. Basically, writing down your thoughts, it slows down your thought process and you become less reactive. Have you noticed when anything comes to you, you just become so reactive? It helps you to become more observer about your thought rather than reactive. Also, James Pennebaker, a leading psychologist, says that if you do expressive writing for just 15-20 minutes a day for 4 days, it helps people reduce their anxiety and also improves their immune function. Honestly, this is huge because in the beginning, I never believed in journaling and I thought that it's a tedious task to write down your thought, write down what is going on in your head, and you won't believe in these last years, I have spent so many notebooks and I went through so much journaling. So I am speaking from my own experience, how I was never a believer in journaling, and knowing behind the science, I thought that I wanted to give it a try because I was a very anxious person and I had so many thoughts running to my mind. I had so many ideas and I almost felt like that I wanted to narrow down my thoughts. I wanted to write down everything. That's when I started to dig deep into the journaling. Now let's talk about why do we struggle? To be honest, I can say from my experience, and I know this is a case for a lot of people, that we don't know what to write. Like often people get into when they hear journaling, like what do you write? Is there rules to follow? Or do you write anything? And often we are also worried that what is going to come up when writing. Because that was my case. If I'm writing down my thought, if I'm writing down anything, I was so scared what is going to come up because I knew it that I wanted to change my life. Okay, I'm writing it down that I'm not happy with my work, not happy with the job that I'm doing. And then I was worried that it's going to come on the surface level. Often we just put things away and thinking that it's not going to affect us, thinking that nothing is happening. But in reality, those things shows up in a surface level. The most common excuse that we all have is that we don't have time. We don't have time to do the journaling. But here's what I tell to every single person. You are already journaling every single day, but it is in your head. You are constantly overthinking, spiraling, daydreaming. That is basically mental journaling without any clarity. And what journaling does is just take all that noise, all that constant noise that you have, put it in somewhere safe, put it in a container where you can organize your thought. So you Don't just keep everything in your head. Now let's talk about the types of journaling. One of my favorite is basically just a brain dump journaling. And this is where you just spill everything. You have so many things going on in your head, and you just take pen and paper and start writing down about your thought. And there's no rules. There is no judgment. You write down whatever comes to your head. And there's no time limit. You can do it until you feel, okay, now you have clarity. And honestly, I have used this technique many times. I remember that one time I had a very difficult conversation with my boss, my ex-boss, and I remember I was very nervous before getting into that conversation because I knew that was a very difficult conversation. I wrote down every single thought that was coming to my head. I wrote down every single scenario, the worst case scenario, what would come up. And a lot of things came to the surface level. And this is why I really say that the brain dump is the best way to get clarity. Then you know what is that truly bothering you? What is that you really want to say? What is the deep down issue that you're facing? Second is the clarity journaling. And this is basically where you want to write down when you feel stuck, when you don't know what to do. For example, you can start writing down what is the area of my life that is most troubling me, or what does my ideal day looks like. Or it could simple be, what if I am not scared? What if I have everything that I need? What would I do next? These are just kind of like clarity thoughts that helps you to get more clear in your vision, get more clear in your purpose. And the third one is the identity journaling. And this is actually deep, and it's also rooted in, like, if you wanted to manifest the big things, like how does the version of me who would already have 100,000 subscribers on the YouTube, how would their version look like? What they would do every single day? What would the most confident version of me would do today? If I wanted to start a brand, how would the 2.0 version of me would stop accepting? How would she move through her day? And this is really powerful if you use it every single day, because it truly helps you to get clarity to answer for yourself. For example, if you are somebody who is hesitating on creating a YouTube video because you want to create content, and write it down, how would a person who already has 100,000 subscribers, how would their day look like? Then all of a sudden you would notice yourself, you're going to start writing the script, you're going to start filming the content. It just puts you in that identity mode. And the last type is gratitude journal. And this is something that I love to do in the morning. The best time to do in the morning or nighttime, where you just want to write down what are the things that you're grateful for? What are the things that you're proud of? What is the one affirmation that you are choosing today? Like, it could be like, I'm a creator of my life. I receive all the opportunities to design my life. Something, whatever you want to write. Now, let's talk about it, how you can start. So let's example, you have never done journaling before and you wanted to start journaling. If you are somebody that you have never done it, I would say start with 5 or 10 minutes, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. You just want to build a habit. You can start with a simple notebook. Honestly, for me, I have kind of created my own, meaning that I just take the notebook and I like to write and I like to create my own journal, because I have never found any journal that serves the purpose what I want to do. This is why I just stick with whatever is working for me. I mean, I wish at this point I should just create my own journal. But anyways, you don't have to stress about it. Just take any notebook, whatever feels aligned to you, and there's no grammar mistake. There is no judgment. There's no overthinking. Just write down whatever thought that comes to your head. You want to start with the gratitude, then you want to turn into your vision, then maybe you want to turn into what are the things that's happening in your head. Whatever that is, you just need to get into the habit of writing it down. Now let's talk about it. What will happen if you stick with this process for 30 days? Like, if you're starting from today, how your life is going to change if you do journaling for 30 days. One of the big things that but I can say from my personal experience, you are definitely going to become less reactive. You are going to observe your thought, and that is the whole purpose of journaling. When you write down, how did you handle that situation? Something happened and you felt like you were so angry at that situation. Maybe you want to write down what made you upset. And I'm sure it's never a surface level. A lot of things that were deep down, that's buried for years, that's going to come to your surface level. When writing down your thoughts, you're going to start to realize that you always wanted to become a content creator. You want to record yourself, you want to post your YouTube videos, but you were holding yourself back because you were worried about what people around you going to say. A lot of things going to come to the surface level, and you are going to catch your limiting belief that are going to sabotage your dream. You are going to connect with yourself better that you have ever been connected. Best way to do it, in my opinion, sometime I go back and I read my own journal 3 years from when I started. What were my thoughts? What I used to say to myself, and what were the limiting beliefs? And I was so shocked how I had those limiting beliefs, and now they're almost just gone. And this is the power about journaling. When you write down, not only you get clarity, you also connect with your own self on the deeper level. And journaling is the best way if you wanted to get honest to yourself. When we are talking to our partner, when we are talking to our parent, to our kids, there's always a different version of us. But when we start writing down our thoughts, that is the true version of you. That's when you are going to meet with yourself again. If you wanted to understand the true love, if you wanted to really get into your head, start with journaling. And for me, the best way to start is just the brain dump, because it's so easy. Or the gratitude journal, where you can start with the gratitude and then you do the brain dump and you can write down one affirmation for that day. It literally set the tone. And for me personally, I love to do journaling first thing in the morning because I kind of mix a lot. I start with the gratitude, and then I start with the affirmation, then I start with my goals, then I start with my action list, then I also get into what's going on in my thoughts. So it's kind of like the mix that I do, and that really helps me to stay aligned with my goal and also help me to remove my limiting belief. But I don't want you to overwhelm. I just want you to get started with journaling because I truly believe it is going to change your life. And talking about change your life, if you want to change your life in next 4 months, then I have shared step-by-step process how you can do that, how you can take control of your life and do not let it slip by. I would definitely recommend watching this video, and I will see you right there. Thank you so much, and I would love if you could hit subscribe. Thank you.